Today, a bevy of Republicans are arriving in our state. We're happy to have them. We're always happy to have tourists, and we're happy that they're spending a lot of money, most of them coming in their private jets, in our economy. So we like to thank them. One particular gentleman who's here is Paul Ryan, who has created the working Republican budget. This budget would devastate the state of Utah, and we have invited some Utahns in to talk about how the Paul Ryan budget would affect life in the state of Utah. We also would like to remind everyone that Paul Ryan is not alone. One of his allies in this fight to devastate the lives of many, many Utahns is Mia Love, who's running in the 4th Congressional District. Paul Ryan is bringing with him, in his briefcase, $1 million. $1 million of Washington money from Washington lobbyists, from Washington people, and he's giving that to Mia Love for a media buy so that the bureaucrats and the power brokers and the Cook brothers and the others in Washington can affect our Utah election. That $1 million is coming with Paul Ryan, together with all of the influence that requires. So right now we would like to I would like to introduce a group of Utahns, and they will explain how the Paul Ryan budget would affect their lives.
Paul Ryan and Mia Love's support of his budget will end Medicare as we know it, as our children know it, as the less fortunate know it. It would be impossible personally for me, if this budget goes through, to even ever get health insurance because I'm on Medicare. It would eliminate the medications that keep me going as a vibrant member of my family and society. It would devastate the finances of my family. It would put a burden on my children, and it would put a burden on society. That's what would happen if Mia Love would go and support Paul Ryan and go further to do more, because she sees more that could be done. Medicare cuts will do this to me, and it will do even more to other members. Social Security is also endangered. What will that do to me? Social Security will take away 1/3 of my annual income in my family. I had a 401k, and when I had my stroke 11 years ago, it was the money that supported my family. It went away, and I never had that opportunity to go back to work and replenish the money that we lived on. I need my Social Security as it is, and I fear for my family if Social Security goes away as we know it today, because it will go away if the Paul Ryan budget goes through, because Paul Ryan budget wants to give everyone who reaches the ages of 55 today with his budget a voucher. And that voucher will change everything. Benefits and out-of-pocket expenses for them, and change the benefit program for me. A vote for Mia Love is a vote for the elimination of Social Security and Medicare as we know it. Remember that.
Currently, I am between grad programs, and that has left me uninsured. I have actually been uninsured for the past 6 years since I stopped my full-time job to go back to school, and it terrifies me to not have insurance. I could have insurance, but the deductible would be so high, and my monthly payment would be so high that it would be like the majority of what I earn, which is about $1,000 a month right now. And I couldn't afford that. If something happens to me, if I get injured, if I have an accident, if I get sick, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would recover from that. Not, just like physically, but like financially. I don't know where I would go. I don't know how I would get back on my feet to continue to pursue my career. It's true that I could choose to do like a different job, to go on and try to get a job in like a corporate office or something like that. But I don't want to do that. I want to be a professor. I want to be able to, teach, because I believe in education. I think it's one of the most important things that we have as a society. And I know that like this budget, this Ryan budget, wants to get rid of education, like these programs that do Head Starts for students in elementary and secondary schools, and those programs that are sort of enable those people to go on to have like a higher education and like better jobs and like better places in our community. And I think that if we can't have that as a society, that's really devastating, because where will we, what would we do? I know that for me, it scares me like on a daily basis thinking about my future, because I don't know what it's going to look like as it is now. And if like this budget goes through, like that terrifies me even more, because I have no idea like how that would affect me. I don't know what I would do. So I'm really, scared about my future and like what it's going to look like. And I'm scared for, if I can ever have family, because I can't afford it. And I'm scared, for my sister, because she's a single mom with a small child. And I'm scared for my parents as they get older. So I think, as we have to care about our futures and like what it's going to look like. And I don't know what it's going to look like if we don't have these, this kind of programs. Thank you.
I have been a University of Utah student for 4 years, and I have seen many of my friends and peers rely on student loans and Pell Grants. And these students work hard. They work hard. They go to their jobs every day, they go to class every day, they support their families. And the taking away of student loans and Pell Grants would hurt these students. It would make their lives harder, make them less successful in higher education, would take away the opportunity for them to achieve their academic dreams. And that, for me, is a problem. That is not what America needs. That's not what Utah needs. And so the Ryan Love budget would take that away from my peers, from my friends in higher education. And that is something that we shouldn't stand for. And then me and my fellow students and I, as well as 80% of Utahns here, care about the environment, feel like pollution is a problem. And the cutting of the EPA program or support to solving these environmental issues will hurt Utahns. And we can't stand for that as Utahns, as voters, because that's not going to help the future. I want to feel comfortable walking between classes knowing that the air I'm breathing is healthy, is safe, and the Ryan Love budget will not support that, will not protect my future, my health, and my future. Thank you.
I'm also a student at the University of Utah. I am from a middle-class background, and my parents worked hard their entire lives to provide for me and my siblings. But by the time, I'm the youngest of 3, by the time that I came around to go to college, there was no money left. And it would have been near to impossible for me to go to the University of Utah without student aid. And the Paul Ryan budget, supported by Mia Love, would take away that chance that I so gratefully received from student loans to achieve my higher education, to achieve my academic dreams. I am also a part of the Air Force ROTC program at the university, and the Paul Ryan budget supported by Mia Love will have huge cuts in veteran aid to go on to secondary education. After I'm done serving my country and working hard to get there and to be able to give other Americans that dream, I want to be able to get my master's. I want to be able to have those benefits. The Paul Ryan budget wants to have huge cuts in veteran benefits. And so it would be detrimental to many Americans, to many students, to many middle-class families, and students who are in socioeconomic situations to not have student aid to go and to support their dreams.
Thank you for coming. Jim DeBackus again. I want to thank our wonderful Utahns for coming by, taking time this morning to explain the situation. This Paul Ryan budget, which Mia Love is obligated now because of the cash that she's been paid, is going to devastate so many people, from the elimination of Social Security to Medicare to student loans to fighting air and water pollution, on and on and on. This is a terrible idea, and I want to thank those of you who came today for being so eloquent in presenting just some of the things that would happen. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.